So we're going to go over the top 10 mistakes that new coaches make. And like I said earlier in my post it's not just for the new coaches, this is for everyone, because we all sometimes kind of get complacent, and even every now and then you'll see me making some of these mistakes because I get lazy just like everyone else. So don't feel like this is singling anyone out, because I didn't even write this. But I just felt like there's really good stuff in here and just lots of good reminders. So I can post the slides in the team page if you guys want, but take some notes too. You might want to just write the 10 things down so you have a list for yourself of, just the mistakes that people make and how you can remind yourself not to do this stuff on a consistent basis. So first things first, mistake number 1 is people's social media becomes a billboard with stock photos of Shakeology and workouts. And this is one of the biggest things that I think people do because they get excited and they want to share, and they want to show everyone what they're doing. And it's easy to just get a stock photo or, a Beachbody picture and share that. And, like I said, every now and then I still do stuff like this because I'm not feeling the creative juices flowing at the moment or whatever. It's fine to do every now and then, but you don't want your Facebook page to turn into just basically an advertisement for Beachbody. It's perfectly fine to talk about what you're doing and because you're excited about it and it's part of your life. But you want to make sure that you're showing yourself doing your workouts, drinking your shake, but you're not constantly just, Beachbody pictures. It's just, it gets old, and people that are watching it just feels salesy and cheesy. So, social media is the place where people go to connect. If they want to buy something, they go to Amazon. So that's why it's really important for your Facebook page to be a reflection of who you are. You want people to go to your page and feel like they know you. You want it to become like Lindsay calls it like your reality show. So we want people to go to your page and be able to look at your page and get a good idea of who you are. So you don't want people to go to your page and just feel like, ugh, of course this girl's a Beachbody coach because that's all she talks about. That's all her entire page is. So just make sure that it's fine to share those stock photos every now and then. You just don't want to share them all the time, and don't ever share prices, because that's super cheesy and super salesy. If somebody has a question about prices, that's why I always say in my challenge group posts, if you have questions or any concerns, please message me, because if you're sharing prices, that's just a really good way of saying I'm selling something. So you don't want people to feel like they're just constantly being given a sales pitch. You want them to feel like they know you and they trust you and they're excited about what you're offering, and that they're not just going to your page and seeing constant like blurbs of everything. So make it your own. Show you in the photos. That's a typo. Clearly. Show people who you are. You can share how Beachbody's impacted your life, but don't talk about it 24/7. And you only want Beachbody talk to be like maybe 20% of the time, and then the rest of the time you want it to be you. You want it to be your hobbies, your interests, things you like, pictures of you doing stuff that you like to do, good tips and tricks, recipes, advice, inspirational stuff. So you want to make sure that it's a melting pot of stuff. It's not just Beachbody 24/7, because we've all seen those coaches and it's so annoying and it makes us all look bad. So don't be one of those. So don't share stock photos 24/7. Don't share other coaches' posts. Like, don't just copy and paste someone's post. Use it as inspiration or put your own spin on it. It's fine to like screenshot people's posts and use them. Like, I keep them in my phone. I have like tons of thousands of pictures of screenshots of people's posts in my phone, and I don't copy and paste them. I just use them as inspiration. If I see something that I'm scrolling through the news feed and it reaches out to me and I'm like, wow, that's really good, or I love that, or that's funny, or whatever, then I'll just screenshot it and then I'll just use it as inspiration for a future post later when I'm feeling really uninspired and I have no idea what to say. So that actually really, really helps a lot. You can also just like create a file on your computer and screenshot or save people's posts onto your computer. And then that way you also have another little area where you can go and get inspiration when you're feeling like you don't know what to say. So number 1, don't be a billboard for Beachbody, okay? So this isn't some examples. You want to do this. So you see how like all these pictures, you know, this is the 3-day refresh. There's a 21-day fix down here. There's a Shakeology one up here and workouts, but you don't see how they're using like Beachbody logos. They're not using Beachbody pictures of the workout programs. They're making their own, you know, using their pictures and making their own post about it, and saying exactly the same thing, but without shoving Beachbody down people's throats. So people may not know what the 3-day refresh is, and you can explain that to them. But I think it's like this post that Brittany Leggett did up here on the top right is really good because it says what it is basically, but it's not a stock photo. So people can basically get the gist of what it is. You know, it's a 3-day cleanse, and they're not feeling like she's trying to sell them something. She's sharing her experience. So, and like I said, I can put these in the team page so you guys can actually look at these posts and see. These ones, I can probably put them in an album. And that's something that I'm going to do is, I'm going to make myself a note. I had this thought, and I don't know if I've actually already done it, which sounds really crazy because I may already have done it. I just can't remember. Of all the, like the challenge group posts that I've done personally, putting them in a file so that you guys can all go look at them, and then other ones that I find that are good, or that you guys find that are really good, that you feel like are getting the point across about something, but without, you know, screaming Beachbody or screaming buy my challenge pack, and putting them in an album so you guys can see those posts and use those as inspiration when you're going to make your recruiting post for your challenge group. So don't do this. And I literally have shared like half of these Pio pictures probably. So last year when Pio was coming out, sometimes they're good. So you just don't, you know, you definitely don't want to share the ones like this up here. I don't know if you can see my little mouse, but up here on the top left where it says Pio and 3-day refresh, challenge pack, and it probably shows the price. You don't want to do stuff like that because that just looks bad and it just looks like you're trying to sell something. It would be much better if you had Pio and Shakeology and you were, you know, sharing with a picture of yourself or a little video clip of you doing Pio or, you know, whatever, or your before and after of 3-day refresh. You just don't want it to be generic. You want it to make it yourself. And like I said, this might be a review for a lot of you guys, or common sense stuff, but you just want it to be you, and you don't want necessarily people to go to your page and automatically know that you're a Beachbody coach. So number 2, they lead with their own agenda instead of listening to other people's goals and helping them find a solution. So I'm guilty of this. I'll straight up say it. I'm so dang Ruby that I get so focused on my Success Club points, and I swear, like I still do it. It's still hard for me. It's not that I don't care about people, because I do for sure. And I definitely want to help them reach their goals, but I definitely want to reach my goals too. So I feel like there's definitely has to be a balance to this. So you want to help people, and you want them to be able to help themselves too. You don't want to, there's a fine line of helping people so much that they don't even care. And because I've definitely been guilty of that too, of helping people to the extent that I'm giving so much and they're not even returning, they're not even making an effort to do what I'm giving them. Like when I send people free meal plans and stuff, and then I check in with them and they're not even doing it. I'm like, well, I don't know how you want to change if you're not going to actually do something. So, but just make sure that you're talking to people and you're listening to their goals and listening to what they want to do. And you're helping them find a solution. You're not just saying, here, buy this challenge pack. You're sharing with them how this can help them. The reason I don't have a hard time selling challenge packs is because I don't ever give them an option to not buy one, period. And that sounds crazy, but I believe in Shakeology and I have a testimony of it 150%. And I know that based on my own experience and with all the challenge groups that I've run, the people that are on Shakeology consistently get the best results, period. The people that are on Shakeology understand why it's important for them to drink it. And they will get better results. I mean, it's already been proven. Beachbody's proven that. So, and it's a better deal. I am like frugal. I like to save money. So I always offer that option, because chances are if they buy a program, they get into a challenge group and other people are drinking Shakeology and talking about how awesome it is, they're probably going to want to buy it. And then at that point, it's just a hassle for them to have to call and upgrade and do all that. I mean, they can do that. But for me, it's so much easier to present the option of Shakeology in the beginning and let them give me their objections and let us have a conversation about it, than it is for them to get a program and then be unhappy with them, they're not getting the results quick enough and they're frustrated. So, definitely when you're talking to somebody, even if they are ready to go with Shakeology and a program, you want to make sure that you fit them with the right program for them. If somebody is super busy and doesn't have time to spend an hour working out, you're not going to recommend P90X for them. Like that's not going to work. If somebody hates yoga, you're not going to probably recommend Pyo. If somebody hates dancing, you're not going to recommend Size or Hip Hop Abs. I mean, you have to ask them questions to figure out what is going to work for them. And I've been in this place before where I've made, we've gone through this whole conversation and I've made my recommendations and they go with Pyo or whatever and they're unhappy with it. And they end up not doing it, because that's the biggest thing is people will try it. And then if they can't get into it, then they'll just not do it. And that sucks because they just spent this money and they don't even like the program that they got. But then also, I'll find like they'll order something else and I just feel bad because they're ordering something twice. So you just want to make sure that you're talking to them enough and answering their questions enough and asking them enough questions to really figure out. And then I also too, like a lot of times I send them different, like once we've kind of whittled it down to 2 or 3 programs, I'll send them a video, like a promo video of what the program is so that they can see firsthand from the trainer and from Beachbody what they can expect. And I'll ask them, give me your honest opinion. Do you think this is something that you're going to like? Or do you, or I'll say, I'll give them 3 and I'll say, which one do you like the best? And then usually that really helps to whittle it down, because it's hard to explain all the different programs because there's so many of them. So just make sure you're asking people enough questions and you're talking to them and you're not just trying to sell them something that they may not want. So listening, I think, is the most important part of our job, is really to figure out how we can help people and help them in a way that works for them and not necessarily is what's best for us. So mistake number 3 is they don't post on social media. Man, I have so many typos. Sorry, Debbie. I know that's probably killing you. I hate them too, but I was in the zone. I was like so in the zone typing this morning. I was like in the zone and Joe kept coming over behind my shoulder and bugging me and like he came over, he was like kissing me and I was like, seriously, stop. I am in the zone right now. Like I was just like typing away. So sorry. I didn't have time to go through this afternoon and obviously double check it. So they don't post on social media due to fear of what their family and friends will think or say. This is huge. This is probably like one of the biggest things. Fear, just like the quote on the right, fear kills more dreams than failure ever will. Fear is literally like your worst enemy. Fear will stop you from doing everything. Like thinking about posting on social media. How freaking easy is that, you guys? It is an introvert's dream to build a business through social media, because guess what? You don't have to talk to anybody if you don't want to. And I used to be really extroverted, and now I'm actually a lot more introverted. I sometimes don't like talking to people. So for me, it's really great because I can reach a lot more people in a very short amount of time. I mean, imagine the days when people were in network marketing and they were having to knock on doors. Like my best friend, who's a realtor, when she was starting out her business, they did every single day, she would do like 2 or 3 hours of door knocking. So every single day she would go knock on people's doors for 2 or 3 hours. That literally made me want to die. I was like, you could not pay me to do that. So, and be like, hey, this is what I'm selling. I'm a realtor, blah, 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 blah. Or, I'm a Beachbody coach. You want to lose weight? Here, buy this from me. Let me whip out my catalog of products. Like, no, I would die. There's no way. So for those of you guys that are introverted, and I know there's a lot of you guys, for some reason I attract a lot of introverts. Social media is your BFF. Like, seriously. It's so, and you can just pretend that when you're posting, something on Facebook, that nobody's going to see it. Just pretend that, walk away, click and walk away. If you're going to be scared about posting something, and you just have to get over the fact that there are always going to be people that don't like it. Always. And guess what? Those who matter won't mind, and those who mind don't matter. Period. End of discussion. And you know what? You might have family members or friends that think it's lame, don't want to support you, and that's okay, because they don't have to. I have, let's see, of all of my best friends, I think almost all of them have purchased challenge packs. None of them have completed a challenge group. None of them have completed their programs. None of them are on HD. And one of them had a coach account, which she canceled. And half of them have personal trainers and like 5 bags of Shakeology sitting on the counter. So guess what, guys? There's always going to be people. My best friends, the ones I thought would be my biggest supporters, are the biggest slackers out of all of them. So just don't let that stop you from building a business. There's always going to be people that think that it's a scam, that think that it's a pyramid scheme, that think that it's a joke, that think the products don't work, that there's always people like that. And you know what? That block button on Facebook can get really handy. And you just have to that's what we call, like, you have to grow your thick alligator skin and not get offended when people have an opinion. And I love this quote in the middle that says, "You can be the juiciest, ripest peach on the tree, and there will always be someone who doesn't like peaches." And that is so freaking true, because people that are insecure constantly beat down the people that are not insecure, because it makes them feel better. So they always want to beat down the people that are, even still Lindsay, you guys have seen her success. People still think it's like that she needs to get a real job. They still think that like the whole thing is fake and that she just sells a lot of stuff. You would have to sell, oh my God, to make the paychecks that she makes, she would never sleep, and she'd have to have a giant team of people selling stuff for her. Like, there's no way. So even still, and I feel like the higher you rise, the more money you make, the more successful you are, the bigger the haters get and the louder they get. So you have to constantly just remember that in the back of your head, that you're doing this for your future and for the future of your children and for your family and for your financial security and for your health and for your, and you're doing this to inspire others, and you're doing it because it makes you feel good. Why does it matter what anybody else thinks? And that's what you have to constantly remember. When people are being, haters, you have to constantly remember that you're not doing it for everyone else. And your post may be inspiring people that haven't come out of the woodworks yet. They're watching you this whole time and they just haven't gotten the nerve to talk to you yet. So you have to keep going. And if people are being, negative Nancy's and, being mean to you, block them. You don't need that in your life. Okay. All right. Rant over. Number 4, they expect their upline coach to give them permission to start and or tell them what to do every day. So guess what, guys? I'm not your boss. I'm your mentor, and I can show you and give you tools, but I'm not going to sit at my computer and tell you what to do all day long, because I have to do that to myself and that's enough work. So just remember, that's why I'm constantly making lists all the time. My whole freaking notebook is lists of random stuff jotted down. My tracker, because that helps remind me of what I need to do. And I just do the same things every single day that you guys do and that I tell you to do. I'm not doing anything different or fancy or secretive, or I don't have any magic, formula. I'm doing the same stuff that you guys are doing. And I had kind of a little aha moment the last couple of weeks, because I think sometimes a lot of times people think because Lindsay's my coach that I get some kind of magic thing from her, or I get a lot of attention, or I get a lot of just stuff, tools, which we do get tools. We do get good trainings, which I pass down to you guys for sure. But for me, my success is 100% not based on Lindsay. It didn't matter when I came into this business who my upline coach would have been, because I was so determined to be successful at that point in my life that I would have made it work no matter what. And that's one thing that it's been challenging for me to keep up that pace sometimes, but I have to constantly remember my why, and why I'm doing this. And just because Lindsay is my coach and it sounds all glamorous that she's the top coach and she's a millionaire and blah, blah, blah. The thing is because I am super independent, I get less time from her. I get less energy from her. I get less attention. And she's missed a lot of my recognition stuff in the last couple of months. She's missed a lot of things. And right now I'm kind of pissed off at her. So I just want you guys to know that your success is not based on me. It's not based on anybody else except for you. So if you want to be successful, I'll give you the tools, and you guys have access to way more stuff now, even than I had 2 years ago. And everything is there. I mean, you guys will have Google. You can find anything you want on Google. And a lot of the top coaches put their trainings on YouTube, and you can Google them. They're on their blogs, and a lot of, there's tools. So, but if you don't do anything with the tools, then nothing's going to happen. So just because Lindsay's my coach doesn't mean that automatically makes me successful. So imagine how many coaches she has, and imagine the amount of percent that are actually doing something. It's actually very small, because, and those of us, we've actually talked about this, that all of us don't feel that Lindsay actually didn't really do anything to us to make us successful. We all had that seed of desire in ourselves already to want to do it. So just know that I'm here to help you guys 110%. And I definitely want to be the coach. Lindsay says all the time, be the coach that you wish you had. And for me, lately it feels like I've been lost in the shuffle with a lot of the other people on our team. And I don't want you guys to feel like that. So even though some of you guys may move at a slower pace than others, some of you guys are busier than others, some of you have more time to dedicate to this business, I want you guys to know that I'm here 100%, but I'm also not going to chase you if you're not doing anything. I'm not going to push you if you're not doing anything. It's not my responsibility. And if you're not pushing yourself, I'm not going to push you. I'm not like that. I'm not going to force you to do something that you don't want to do. And if you're not showing up and working your business every day for yourself, then I can't make you want to do it. So just know that. Mistake number 4, they're afraid to fail forward. Failing is good. Failing is like, you need to become friends with failing because that means you're trying. And then that means you're doing something. And that means that you are not just sitting behind your computer, like staring at a blank screen, not knowing what to do. You're actually out there in the trenches. You're trying stuff. You're posting. You may be failing miserably, but guess what? You're learning. And you're learning what works and you're learning what doesn't work. So it's really important. We're always taught that you don't want to fail, but failing is actually really, really good. And it's really important for you to learn how to build a business, and that making mistakes are actually good, because like I said, we're on mistake number 4. I've done pretty much almost all of these at some point, and I don't regret any of it because it's taught me something. Every single failure that I've had has given me a lesson. So don't be scared to fail. And there's a really good book by John C. Maxwell called Failing Forward, and that's a really good one to read. If any of you guys feel like you're scared of that, because you're not going to be successful if you don't fail, period. They expect that success should fall into their lap without having to put hard work in. And that kind of touches on what I was just saying, that you're not going to just build a 6-figure business by chilling. You got to hustle. You got to hit Success Club. You got to be talking to people every single day and working your business every single day and not half-assing it. I mean, if you're going to half-ass it, you're going to get half-ass results, period. That's just true. And I've seen that in myself. I've been there. I've done that. Like when I start slacking is when I really notice it seriously is reflected in my paychecks. When I'm not on top of my posts on Facebook, when I'm, not recruiting, when I'm not doing all those things, it seriously affects my paychecks. So just know that your hard work will be a reflection in your paychecks. And if you want to get bigger paychecks, you need to work harder. Okay, so we're going to talk about the employee mindset versus that of a leader. An employee thinks, I work for a paycheck, period. This company is lucky to have me. I'll do the bare minimum only because that's all I get paid for. Somebody is mandated to take care of me. I'm entitled simply because I work here and I only do what I'm told. And these are people that are good to just stay in a job. If you are always feeling like you go above and beyond and you don't get compensated for it, that's because you are a leader, and that means you should not have a job. You need to be doing something different where you can be rewarded for your hard work. And we all have probably been there, where we've had jobs where we feel like we show up, we're never late, we do everything we're asked and then some. We pick up the slack of other people, we stay late, we pick up extra shifts, we work overtime, all those things. I've for sure had jobs like that, and it sucks. And you feel like you can't ever move up. You're not getting any recognition, and it really, really, really sucks to be in that position where you just feel like, why are you? And then you get resentful because you're like, well, why am I even doing this? But then you feel stuck because you need a paycheck. So, this is not like that. And I don't want you guys to feel like that about this job. This job should be fun. This isn't a job. This is a career. This is a lifestyle. This is an opportunity to be able to change your life and to change other people's lives. This isn't just about running challenge groups and hitting Success Club every month. This is like people's lives are on the other side of the computer. Some people, literally, their life depends on it. And we need to look at it as an opportunity to really help people. And all of you guys, if you're on this call, none of you guys have that mindset. You guys are all business owner mentalities where you feel like you see the bigger picture of the greater good. You're there for, because it gives you satisfaction. You guys are here because you know that the products are amazing. You know that you guys have all had somewhat of a transformation, whether it be physical or mental. And you go the extra mile because you care about people. All of you guys on this call, I know that you guys all feel that way. When you go the extra mile, you're doing it because it helps the business and it helps the people that we serve. And that's for sure true 150% in this business. People really can tell when you go the extra mile, and those little touches like handwritten cards and things like that make a big difference for people. So just remember that those little personal touches, which I feel like everything's so digital now that people forget what it's like to like get a piece of mail. And I started doing that, and people are always like, they feel so touched, even just by like a little card, like nothing big, but it makes people feel really good. So when you're a business owner, you feel blessed to be part of the company. You don't feel like the company's lucky to have you. And I feel like that every single day. I feel like Beachbody has rocked my world, and I can't imagine my life without it. So I feel super blessed to not only be part of this company, to be part of the teams that we're on, and I feel honored to be able to mentor you guys and to help you guys in your journey. It's my responsibility to make sure that my job is done to the best of my capability. And I think all of us have that perfectionist mindset in a way, where we want things to be perfect, whether it be your post or your challenge group or whatever you're doing, your workout, your food, whatever. And that's good, because you don't want to be so perfectionist that it stops you from doing things. But at the same time, you want to take pride in your work. So you want to feel proud of what you're putting out, and you're not just slapping stuff on Facebook that is stock, or, a photo that 500,000 other coaches have shared. So entitlement is not a word in my vocabulary. I receive wages for my efforts, and while fringe benefits are nice, they can disappear if the business is not profitable. And it's the same thing in our business. You can never get complacent in this business. You have to constantly be growing and striving for more and working hard, because it can literally just disappear. If you stop working, especially until you get to the point where your foundation is really, really solid, the moment you kind of stop working, I've seen coaches get to 5-star diamond and drop all the way down to diamond because they think they're good and they're not. So you have to constantly be wanting to grow and growing yourself and growing your team. And unless you don't care about that paycheck dwindling, then it doesn't really matter. But most of us probably care. I understand that there are times when my own personal agenda may be interrupted for the good of the people we serve. And this is something that is sometimes a hard pill to swallow. I have given up a lot of family time, a lot, like I have really sacrificed time in my marriage to build this business because it's really important to me. And I'm not going to lie to you guys, that some of that is necessary, because in the beginning, you're going to have to work more hours than you're going to get paid for. You're going to make like 20 cents an hour in the beginning. You're going to make like nothing. But once you build your foundation and the momentum kicks in, then you get paid pretty nicely and you can start to set more clear boundaries. But in the beginning, you're going to have to work more hours than you probably want. You're going to have to post more often than you want. You're going to have to invite more often than you want. You're going to have to do all those things that feel uncomfortable. But I promise that it's going to be worth it. And there is definitely times when I've had challengers that I've been, having to talk to at 10 o'clock at night, or I've been trying to sign up a coach at 10 o'clock at night, or, I'm trying to go to bed and somebody's having an emergency and I have to, get on the phone and talk them off the ledge or whatever. It happens, but you know what? It's okay, because I want you guys to know that I am always here for you. And while I do have some boundaries, I'm for the most part pretty available for you guys, because I want you guys to feel supported. So I don't want to stifle your independence and your, you got to go exhaust the resources first. But I want you guys to know that I'm here because you guys are important to me. So number 5, this is so me every day. They waste a lot of time scrolling the newsfeed on Facebook. And I love this picture of Dory from Finding Nemo where she says, Facebook is boring today. Oh, let's see what's on Facebook. How freaking true is that? Me 10 times a day, 15 minutes later of scrolling. What am I supposed to be doing? Oh, yeah, writing a post. Oh, yeah, returning messages. Every day. I swear I have ADD. So set a timer. It's not that you can't ever scroll the newsfeed, because you can. Just set a timer, because it can go so fast. Like 45 minutes will go by in like a blink of an eye, and you're like, crap, I could have had my workout done by now. So I don't care if you scroll, but get your stuff done first, and then you can scroll. And then I don't care how long you scroll, as long as your stuff's done. Okay. Hi, Bubba. Hi. Okay, mistake number 6. They overthink and never implement because it has to be perfect. Debbie's laughing because I know this is her. You guys are born to make mistakes, not to fake perfection. Nobody is perfect. Nicole struggles with that too, because she's got a perfectionist thing too. Everybody kind of does. I do too. I have the same thing. I hate just like throwing something up. But the thing is a post is better than no post. A invite is better than no invite. Even if it feels like half-ass, even if it feels like, it's better than nothing. So I know that it's so hard to get over that perfectionist thing, but you have to just know that you're not going to go anywhere if you just sit in front of your computer and analyze and overanalyze, and then you get so frustrated and you just have to do it. Like I said, click the post button and walk away. Close your computer, be done, okay? Because sometimes you just have to force yourself to do it. And, I've been there, but just know you're not going to get anywhere if you don't do it. So that's a really important one to make sure that you put stars and asterisks by. Nobody's perfect. And I just saw something in one of the diamond groups I'm in. Somebody posted, he said he was trying to duplicate things for his team, and he hasn't been able to do anything because he's so obsessed with making it perfect. And everybody was like, knock it off. Right now, your team's not doing anything because you're so obsessed with, give them something. Something. And that's why I'm always saying, you guys, like, that's why the trainings are always evolving. That's why the challenge groups are always changing and evolving. The posts are changing always, all the time, because we write them and then we get better ideas, and then we rewrite them, and then we don't like things, and then we change things, and people give suggestions, and that's why. And that's good. The change and the evolution of how things have been in the last 2 years since I first started, oh my gosh, it's changed so much. So you just have to know that things are changing, and it's good. And, your posts, I guarantee the posts that you first make when you're a new coach are going to suck compared to the posts after a couple years. And not because they don't suck because you suck. It's just because you have been around the block. You found your rhythm. You found what works for you. You found just kind of your language of typing, the way that you like your PicMonkey pictures to look like you'll find your flow. And then it becomes a lot easier because you just know yourself better. And you know what works and you know what doesn't work. So, like for me, mass messages don't work. You know that stock photos don't work very good. So you'll just find your way. So just know that you're constantly going to be evolving, and it's good. It's supposed to be like that. They lead with facts instead of stories and passion. So we have, you'll probably hear this a lot. You can rattle off every single ingredient in Shakeology, and people don't give a shit about it unless you have an experience with it. Nobody cares what Shakeology does and what every single ingredient does and why it's so awesome and why you should buy it and all these things if you've never used it consistently and if you don't have a testimony. Same thing with the programs. When you are a new coach, you need to pick a program and stick with it all the way through. Finish it so that you can at least have a testament of that product so that you can tell people, I loved this program, or I didn't like this program so much, or I loved this specific workout, but this one wasn't really for me. People want to know your experience. They don't care about the statistics and the facts. I mean, some people might, if they're an emerald, they might want to know. But most likely, that's partially why I don't have a hard time selling Shakeology, because I believe in it more than I believe in anything else in my life. I swear. And I have seen how it's changed people's lives. In my life personally, my grandma, I know a lot of people who it's really, really, really helped. And people want to know that stuff. They want to know that it's helped my cravings. It, it fills me up. It gives me energy. It's helped me get off coffee. It seriously kills my cravings for the most part. And it was seriously the biggest plateau buster for me. It helped me get past a brutal plateau when I first started it. And people want to know that kind of stuff. They don't necessarily care about all the adaptogens and the prebiotics and the probiotics and all that stuff. It's good to know the basics, but I couldn't even rattle off more than probably 5 things that are in it. You need to know a few things, but what's more important is that you have experience and that you have stories to tell people, because that's what people care about. Number 8, they wait to share their transformation and journey because they want the perfect body. And you guys have heard me say this a bazillion times. Your journey is way more inspiring to people than just seeing a before and after. People want to see the ups and downs, the struggles, the triumphs, the victories, the non-scale victories. People want to see the ride. That means that to them is so much more inspiring than just seeing a before and after picture. And for you, you're so much more genuine in helping people while you're in it than when you're out of it and you're not really doing it the same anymore. I haven't been in weight loss mode for a while now, and sometimes I forget just the struggles and the challenges of when you're just starting out. So sharing your journey, and I love this picture because I really just feel how inspiring is that this girl can be so vulnerable and willing to share when she is not even at her goal weight. That to me is so much more inspiring than just seeing somebody's before and after and saying, yeah, this is what I used and this is what I did. But being able to be in the process of it, that to me is just so much more inspiring. And people that are willing to be vulnerable about where they're at and what they're doing, because you're in the moment of it. And it's just more authentic and more genuine. So don't feel and for those people that have a ton of weight to lose, you could be waiting a year to start your business, when in the meantime, you could be inspiring people all along the way. And who cares if you're not making huge sales or hitting giant Success Club numbers? You are planting seeds every single day that you share your journey. People are going to watch you and people are going to follow you. I think that's one of the best things I ever did for my business was share pictures at the very beginning. Because I had already lost some weight, but my transformation was far from over. But it was basically like a watch me post. Watch me do this. I'm going to prove to all of you guys that you don't have to be at a gym 2 hours a day and you don't have to starve yourself and take diet pills and all that. So, and that actually, it planted a lot of seeds. And some of those seeds have taken 2 freaking years to grow. But, you know, a lot of, I mean, like I said, like the majority of those people that inquired initially have come around at some point. So just know that even if people are not buying stuff from you right now, those are seeds that are planted, and those are, you know, potential customers and coaches for you down the road. Number 9, they skip the 3 vital behaviors. They don't do personal development because they don't think they need it. I was one of those in the beginning till I hit my rough patch. And then I was like, oh, this is why people do this. They don't drink their shake every day and they skip their workouts. We all have days like that. You don't have to be perfect, but think of it as like 80-20, 90-10. You want to make sure that the majority of the time you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. That's how you're going to get a transformation, and that's what's the most important sales point for you is your personal transformation. They feel uncomfortable sharing and personally inviting and wait for people to come to them. If you're not sharing your journey and you're not posting on Facebook, people don't know, period. They don't know what you're doing. They can't just guess. They can't read your mind. I promise. People still have no idea that I'm a Beachbody coach. Still. They have no idea what Shakeology is. They have no idea what Beachbody on Demand is, even though I talk about it 24/7. People still don't know. And that's partially because Facebook is so retarded. Stupid. I don't want to say retarded. Stupid. It's stupid the way that they do the algorithm and logistics, because so many of your friends aren't even seeing your posts. And if you're not posting, then nobody's seeing them. Because guess what? Only like 10 to 20% of your friends now actually see your posts. And that's if you're posting often. So that's why it's really, really important to constantly be interacting with people all the time and adding new people every single day. Because if you're not adding people, you're not talking to people, you're not sharing your journey, nobody's going to know. Promise. So even if you're just sharing a little bit, even if you're just, you know, even if it's just a couple times a day and you work up to posting 5 times a day, you just want to do something. Don't get stuck in that rut where you're literally just, you feel so like anxious about posting and talking and sharing that you just don't do anything. So the 3 vitals are super important. Everybody, you need to do them, period. I know it sounds lame to sit and read for 15 minutes, but it's actually really relaxing. When I force myself to do it, I always feel better, because I've never been a big reader. It's never like, I've never taken the time to just sit and read a book until this business, let alone sit and read like a self-help book. Felt like such an idiot doing that, but it has changed my life in so many ways. So just know that the 3 vitals are not just there for them to be annoying to you. They are super, super vital, obviously, to your business. So do them. Number 10, they get discouraged and they want to quit when people tell them no. And they don't give themselves enough time to build a foundation for their business, which means momentum will never kick in. So if you're not working this business every single day, at least on some level, you may not be working it like hardcore like some of us. You may just be doing a little bit at a time. But if you're not doing it every day, your momentum will never happen. You have to be doing it every day and putting effort in every day. And I'm not just saying like posting random stuff on Facebook. Like you're actively recruiting. You're actively talking about challenge groups. You are running challenge groups. You are hitting Success Club. Even if you're not hitting 5, you're at least getting 2 or 4. That means you're doing something. If you're not doing that, your momentum will never happen, because momentum, you got to put a lot of, it's like, you know, it's like a train. It's like when you put a little bit of coal into the train, it doesn't go. You have to put a lot of coal in and keep shoveling and shoveling and shoveling and shoveling and shoveling until it gets going. And then it will coast. And then you only have to put in a little bit of coal at a time. You just, you know, you don't have to have 3 people shoveling the coal. You just need 1. So you have to constantly, it's the same thing. It's like this, it's like your metabolism. It's like, you know, if you go 7 hours a day without eating and then you eat a giant meal, you're not going to feel super energized. You're going to feel dead because your body's like, holy crap, this was too much. You can't do anything with your business. You can't go 6 days without doing anything in your business and then all of a sudden work super hard for one day and expect to see results. You won't. It's much better to do 1 hour a day, little bits every single day, than to do one entire day and then think you're good for a week. So, moral of the story, just be consistent every day. A little bit. Doesn't have to be a lot, just a little bit every day. The moment you're ready to quit is usually the moment right before the miracles happen. So don't give up. And that's so true. Because even 2 years in, tomorrow I'll be 1-star diamond official. I've hopefully finished my 6 weeks of HELL qualification. And it's taken me kind of 2 years to really feel like my momentum is really surging and going. And even still, I still feel stalls here and there where everybody will get going really good. And I'm like, yeah, we got this. And then people will fall off. And I'm like having to constantly be like rallying the troops. But that's kind of how it happens. You have to get everybody going and you have to kind of keep everybody going. But at the same time, like I had this big aha moment where I can't, and it's the same thing for all of you guys, even when you build a team, you can't ever get complacent thinking that your team is going to carry you. Because financially, yeah, but if you stop working, then they stop working. And that's true. When I stop showing up, you guys stop showing up. So we all got to show up. That's part of being a team. And that goes for challenge groups. That goes for team calls. That goes for posting the team page and just doing something. When you guys are active in the team page and active in the challenge groups, everybody feels more alive. And it's sometimes really frustrating for me when I'm like trying to get everybody going to feel that passion. And the reality is if you don't have that passion here, then I can't make it be there. You know, I can't force you guys to show up for team calls. I can't force you guys to do your workouts and eat on plan and drink your shakes. I can't force you to do that stuff. If you don't want to do it, you're not going to build a business, period. So I'm here to help you and I want you to be successful so bad because I've seen the fruits. I've seen the fruits of my labor. I've seen the paychecks. I've seen it happen. I know it can happen, but you got to use the tools and do them and not just read the posts and do the challenge group assignment and then go about your day. Do the assignments. And even when you're not in training for something, you're constantly referring to things you're growing every single day. If you need something in your business and I'm not giving it to you, guess what? You have Google, YouTube, Coach Online Office, Facebook. Like there's so many resources out there, so many things. And if I have a question about something, and I'm such a visual person, so I go to YouTube a lot. YouTube is like my Google. So I go there a lot when I have questions or even when I just need to feel inspired because there's so many really good inspiring things on YouTube. But just know that you guys are your own business owners. So if you want to be successful, you got to do it, not me. Last thing, don't be afraid to make mistakes. And I love this little graphic. I'm going to try to move the pictures right here. Albert Einstein, he wasn't able to speak until he was almost 4 years old, and his teacher said he would never amount to much. Michael Jordan, after being cut from his high school basketball team, he went home, locked himself in his room, and cried. Walt Disney, fired from a newspaper for lacking imagination and having no original ideas. I bet that guy feels like an idiot now. The guy that fired him. Steve Jobs, at 30 years old, he was left devastated and depressed, and after being unceremoniously removed from the company he started. I just learned that about him. They kicked him out of his own company. How freaking crazy is that? And good thing they brought him back because look what he did. Oprah Winfrey was demoted from her job as a news anchor because she wasn't fit for television. That boss probably feels like an idiot too. The Beatles, rejected by Decca Recording Studios, who said, we don't like their sound and they have no future in show business. All of these people that said that probably feel so stupid, and it's probably good because it forced all of these people to be successful. Excuse me. So, moral of the story, don't be afraid to make mistakes. It's super, super important. And that's all I have for you guys. So I'm going to stop recording. Thank you guys so much for making it a priority to be here. And if anybody wants to hang out for questions, I will be here for the next 15 minutes or so, and we can hang out. So thank you guys. And I will post slides and recording once it's done doing its thing. So